everyone. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. With the season winding down, thoughts are already beginning to turn to the playoffs. But you gotta play it out to the end. So these gals need to keep the focus on this game and not start looking ahead to the postseason. It's the Black Knights going up against the Buccaneers. So for the call of this week's 17 matchup, let's send it out to our broadcast team, Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis.
All right, thank you, Larry. We are on the Gulf Coast of Florida at Raymond James Stadium here in Tampa. Straight ahead, we've got a good one on tap here between the London Black Knights and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Guyton alongside Charles Davis. And, Charles, you take a look at this Buccaneer ball club. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Londoners, and I don't think from what we saw down on the field before the game there's any doubt they're ready to roll.
They pass the eye test, don't they? This team looks fired up and ready to play.
And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and he'll take over at the 25. So out come the Bucks now for their first drive. They're led out by a man raised in Alabama, went to Florida State. It's their quarterback, Jameis Winston.
No question at all about his talent, and that's been on display since his first game as a starter at Florida State. On a Monday night, the whole country watching, he only missed 2 passes in the entire game and led his team to a big victory and later a national championship as a freshman.
Now they try the right side here. Fights off another.
I think the second tackler would have learned from the first.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. A beautiful fake. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd and 1 situation.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. Smart approach there, using the run to pick up the first. And that was a defensive setup they prepared for this week, knowing that keeping it on the ground was the best way to attack it.
And that means also that they're able to read them pretty well. All the things they prepared for, when they get to the line of scrimmage, they see it in pre-snap recognition and know exactly how to attack based on their planning and preparation.
4 yards remaining now on 2nd down.
I'm going to show my age here a little bit. We used to talk about running backs catching the ball as safety valves. Nowadays, they're a big part of the passing offense.
Quit acting like you're so old. You're only 65. Too quick to the trigger that time. Neutral zone infraction, and that'll cost him 5 yards. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
And frankly, Brandon, we're talking about things I'm not sure we ever thought we'd talk about in the NFL. And a lot of that is the speed at the linebacker position. A lot of these guys in college, they were safeties. They moved them up to outside linebacker to combat the spread offenses, and now we're seeing it in the NFL. Those same guys using their speed to make plays in the backfield, similar to that one.
He's going to air one out. And he fires one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
Face mask penalty, and Charles, you were a defender. You know sometimes in the heat of the moment, it's hard to keep your hands away from that face mask.
Sometimes you just get out of position as a defender when you're trying to make a tackle, so you end up flailing away, and your hand gets into the wrong spot.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And some room to work. And oh, so close as he takes it all the way to the 2-yard line. And I don't want to harp on it, but this defense among the bottom in the league against the run, and they show it right there.
And it doesn't matter when you get prepared for this defense, whether you're good running the ball or not. That's your plan. Run the ball against them. That's their weakness. And by the way, I think you harped on it.
I did. My bad. So it'll be first down here after the run. Play clock winding down. Bortles now to throw. And nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away. But it does get away, and it's second down.
A missed opportunity for an interception would have killed off the drive. They had a chance there to finish things off. Didn't get it done. I guess that's why a lot of those guys do not play offense.
And the play clock's running down. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he is into the end zone for a touchdown. A great effort there. His first touchdown on the year. And his guys have taken a first quarter lead. And he was excellent on that drive. He deserved to be the one to get across the chalk.
Oh, I agree with you totally. A workhorse on the drive. And how about that last decisive run to punch it in?
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And the Buccaneers getting ready to go as they take the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
Give him 2 yards on that play, and it'll make it second down. They'll run it now out of the gun. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30. Malik Jackson there to make the stop.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
So following the run, we'll see what they do here on third down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
So out now comes the offense back onto the field. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. So the offense readies for a 2nd and 4. They come out here in the eye. They'll need to get the play off quickly. And on the ground they go with the running back. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. They'll get nothing out of that one, and it's going to lead to a third down. A well-executed blitz, no doubt. Great job by the linebacker. Maybe the quarterback, if he could have seen that, could have audibled there.
Yeah, he needed to be in a different play because that one just meshed perfectly for the defense. All the gaps were filled except for the one the offense really wanted to run through. And that was filled by a big man wanting to make a tackle.
And he made a great tackle. Time running out here on the play clock. Here's Bortles to throw. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he has the first down before he's tackled at the 5.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build.
He rifles one that's intercepted. A great lead, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
And cuts out right sideline. And he's brought down after a good gain. A big hitter there from deep in their own territory. And even 40 yards.
I suspect this is one of those calls the defensive coordinator would love to have back.
Absolutely.
Feels like he took a bit of a gamble here. And I remember when I was playing, when we had a team really backed up, there was a talk about, let's go ahead and get upfield and get a safety. And sometimes that works against you because they really hit them big.
They did. They were hoping for a couple yards of breathing room.
Second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
They go play action here, and the pressure gets there, and Winston goes down. C.J. Mosley coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Now Jameis on second down. It's brought in by Jamison Crowder. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. They were ready for what the defense was showing. They had prepared for that look, recognized it, went straight to the air, got the first. Well done.
Love the recognition because you can prepare for everything. You can watch the tape and put together your game plan, but you still have to understand what they're doing in terms of what they're showing and be able to adjust accordingly, and they did exactly that.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Well, that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
And an encroachment penalty here will cost them 5 yards.
And it makes it so simple, doesn't it? An easy free 5 yards for the offense given to them by the defense.
Automatic first down.
So here we go, 1st and 10 now. On 1st and 10, Winston. And his throw is incomplete. He was looking for Jamison Crowder there, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
The 2nd down throw for Winston. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will have the first down before he's tackled at the 12. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
On third down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will possibly get back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. On the other hand, it will definitely take us to the end of the first quarter of play. At the end of one, 7-0 is our score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is brought to you by Head & Shoulders. Shoulders were made for greatness, not dandruff.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Bucks in possession of the football as we begin the second quarter. And they're on the move as they face a second down here. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Just a couple there on the second down run. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8 situation.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
On third down, Winston. He's got time in the pocket. He dropped it. Couldn't hang on in the end zone. So no 6 points, incomplete.
After all the preparation, all the practice, a play like that will absolutely break your heart. They had everything they wanted, just unable to complete it. In the end zone, a big-time drop.
And Aguayo able to knock it through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. Well, they started this drive in as tough a spot as you can at their own 1, so they're able to march it into field goal range and get 3.
I thought that was a very poised, dare say classy sort of a drive. Backed up in the shadow of your own end zone, yet you come out of it and put points on the board. Well executed.
Now this off. Unit ready to see what they can do here. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we got shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it? So they complete the pass, and now they face a second down. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
They come up in an offset eye. Now a handoff here to his running back. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
That's another nice run, and I have to tell you, some of the coaches that I played for, their philosophies were always different when they see a guy running the ball well. Some of them wanted to immediately go to play action and throw it now because it's wide open. While other coaches said, you know something? Until they stop him, that big boy's going to keep getting the football. And that might be the direction that they're going to go right now.
He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
Play clock winding down. And he'll give it here to his running back. And a short gain down to about the 33. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
A handoff as they run the counter play. Working his way for a gain of 7 to the 26.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
And Bortles going to sneak it. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
I don't know about you, but I like this call. 3rd and inches, and instead of worrying about getting it back to a running back and maybe there's some penetration from the defensive front, just go ahead and take it, move forward, and pick up the first down.
And as we say often, shows confidence in your offensive line. They come up in an offset eye. The play clock's running down. And they'll go on the ground. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
All runners count on their eyes to find the gaps and creases, to find open space. There was absolutely none on that one. Totally swallowed up on that play.
Now they'll throw it. Bortles. And a hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. The tight end, Max Williams, the intended receiver. And it'll bring up 3rd down.
I know tight ends love this route because a lot of times they'll take a block first and get a little bit of space and then come across the middle because in their mind, they're thinking catch the ball and then drop the hammer on the little guys in the secondary.
Unable to drop the hammer, he just dropped the pass. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. Now Justin Tucker's out to try the field goal. From the left hash, it's a 36-yard attempt. And Tucker's kick right there, it's good. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. And that field goal caps an 11-play drive.
That's a lot of offense to run to only get 3 points, but they'll take them. Anytime you can put anything on the board, you run to your sideline somewhat happy.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and he'll take over at the 25. So out come the Bucks now. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But we also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done. And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game. I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. Gonna give this time to the tailback. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
The evaluation process in today's NFL does not take into account as much bulk as it does speed. And that's what we're seeing with the linebacker position. Those guys that can run, they can play at any spot because they can make plays on the opposite side of the line of scrimmage.
And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And he is going to lose yardage here. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
And that has to be frustrating for the offense. They caught him in a dime package. 6 defensive backs on the field. If you're going to run draw and run your big guys at smaller people, you should have success on that play. Instead, the defense won the battle.
Play action now. Winston surveying the field. He finds his target. It's Crowder. And they pick up 25 as they convert on 3rd.
As I saw that play unfold, partner, all I kept thinking is what offensive coaches tell their receivers all the time. Win the route early, meaning gain your step right off the line of scrimmage, get your leverage to get inside of him, and then just run away from him. On that crossing route, boy, he did that.
And put the defender in a tough spot. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Tough day. Tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. A reminder coming up at halftime. Larry Ridley will join us from Orlando with our halftime report, but business to take care of before that. Jameis to throw it. On the catch, it's Crowder. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 15 yards there on the catch and run. And now the passing game here in the 2nd quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it now. The confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
Holding offense.
Winston. And the pressure gets there, and Winston goes down. The corner blitz pays off there as they sack him for a loss of 5. And they're going to speed things up here. 3rd and long for Winston. Looking for his running back, and he's got it. Call it a gain of 3, and that's going to make it 4th down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. So a good kick there, and they finish off the drive with 3.
And that should be the goal for an offense. Finish each drive with points. So that's a nice job there to come away with at least something.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now this offense ready to head back out there. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because...
Now he's hit, and Bortles fumbled. It's loose.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because... This is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction.
And now the Bucks deciding to take a timeout defensively. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And let's see, the Bucks with 6 DBs, so a dime set here on 3rd down. third and long. It's Bortles. And, oh, he took that in one-handed. What a grab. And the Buccaneers go ahead and take another timeout. So that means they're down to one remaining here as we head toward halftime. And they'll send out their punter now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And this is a beauty as that ball's going to angle out at the 6-yard line. Now the Buccaneers offensive unit back out on the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned they're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk is a big decision here.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll take this forward only up to about the 7. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Third down now following the run. Defense showing blitz. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he's going to be taken down here at about the 10. Now hang on here. Timeout called by the defense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. That's pulled in at the 32. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And possession will change here with very little time remaining until halftime. And here now the offense heading back out there. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their...
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Now it's 2nd and 7. They fake the handoff. Now Bortles backing up. He's going to loft one deep left side here. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. That late in the clock, second quarter, why not just run it a time or two and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing.
Now, never mind, Larry. Forget your halftime report. Apparently, we are set for the third quarter of action already. This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. They come up in an offset eye. On 1st and 10, here's Bortles. And he will find his man on the outside. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. And they'll run it here. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Only a yard on the pickup, so from a good situation on 2nd and 2, it's now 3rd and 1.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5-on-3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they will just roam and hit. 3rd and 1, partner. No need to be fancy there. Just use some force and move forward and pick up the first down.
So the run gets them the first, and now they operate with a fresh set of downs. Bortles now on 1st down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Bortles to throw on 2nd down. And he whips that one incomplete there. Pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
And he comes back with one complete. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll be a 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
They'll come up now in the Wildcat package.
Let's go!
Again, he'll drop the throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Got to give some credit there, able to hop up in the air and bat that one away. And that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because the only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and get some type of pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
They come up with an offset eye. Again, they'll throw with Bortles. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
And I tell you what, he got it from 58. That had lots of leg behind it. So in the end, they had the ball for 10 plays, but the drive only yields 3 points.
Yeah, they were able to move the football, but the defense stiffened once their backs were to the end zone, and they were able to hold them to just 3.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. Here comes the D swarming to the line. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. So this is the second consecutive week as you look at the numbers that he just doesn't seem to have the same pop as we normally see him with.
Is there an injury we don't know about?
That's what I'm wondering.
Because that's a legitimate question right now. We're used to speed, power, all coming together. And what I've always loved about him is his vision. You know, last week he didn't have that as well. Always thought he was picking the wrong hole to try and run through. And his blockers, they seem to be getting him to the right place, but he picked the wrong spot. We're seeing some of that again this week. Can they snap it together? Can they get back in sync? Because normally we see them go together very, very well.
No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively, and it likely forces a punt situation on 4th.
But he was stopped on that play. But he's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 15-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. And we have seen a decline in the numbers. Where does the fault lie? Just him? Maybe the guys up front? Combination?
Well, as you and I both know, it's almost always a collective deal. But in this case, I think maybe the offensive line got a little overconfident. They had blocked so well in the first half, picked up on what the defense was doing. I think we've seen an adjustment now that they have not picked up on, and now they're being a little bit overwhelmed.
And third quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football and it's incomplete, now you stop the clock and you've helped out the guys on the other side of the ball. So keep it in the hands of those runners. Keep moving it. Keep grinding clock.
Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. That winds up pushing him back 11 yards on the sack. And that'll bring up third.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
From the gun on third down, Bortles. Wide open receiver complete. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29.
Some think the teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. They'll need to get the play off quickly. Bortles now on 1st down. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. A good pickup there on 1st as the screen pass gets him 8.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still ended up with a solid game.
Throwing is Bortles. But he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's 3rd down.
I know that interception was dropped, and it would have been their 3rd of the game, and I will guarantee you, in the huddle, on the bench, all the defensive guys have been talking about is, we got this guy right where we want him. Who's going to get the next one? It almost becomes a challenge, and they missed a golden opportunity.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
3rd and 2, and they ran the ball for only 1 yard, and everybody's going to scream at the offense. But let's give a lot of credit to the defense on that play. Defensive front out leveraged the offensive line. They got more people to the football. Yeah, they won that battle in a big way, and they're forcing a big decision now by the guys on offense.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he is going to lose yardage here. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Bucks are going to take over with excellent field position to boot. So nursing a slim lead, and that is the opposite of protecting that slim lead.
All I can think here is that head coach, he knows more about what's going on with his team than we do. He must know something's up.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. C.J. Mosley not dropping into coverage. He comes on the blitz and takes him down for a loss of 9.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. He's fumbled already once, Charles. I'm not going to say that that was in his mind there, but I'm sure that during some of these plays he is mindful of it.
And once you fumble the ball, you know what your team tells you and your coaching staff? Take care of it. Rest of the game. And that does get in your mind a little bit, and sometimes that slows down your effort in trying to get free from tackles.
In the defense, and he's going to be taken down. Back across midfield, just across midfield at the 49.
Well, certainly some teams are not intimidated by down and distance on defense, are they? Third and very long? Let's go get this guy again. Big time pressure.
And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. And now back out comes the offense. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on fourth, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to give a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows the coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say maybe makes that offense feel good, but when you know you've got a defense making stands like that.
Yeah, that'll loosen up things a little bit, won't it? Maybe you'll play a little bit better the next time you have the ball.
And they still need 8 yards for the first here on second down. On second down, here's Bortles. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball, and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get him to fourth down.
He's got to be kicking himself right there. His team's already picked off 2 passes. That would have been the 3rd in the game. And, boy, they've really played well attacking the football.
Now this will pin him back as it's out of bounds inside the 10-yard line. Now the Buccaneers offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
It's a gain of 9 yards. And it'll be second and about a yard to go for the first. Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. Back now here on EA Sports. It's Buccaneer football, but they've got work to do. They find themselves behind here to start the fourth quarter. Second down, Winston. Crowder's got it over the middle. And brought down, but not before they're able to get it up to the 25.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
Winston now to throw on first down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure.
So 3rd and 5, defensively expecting pass. They've got 6 DBs out there. Winston from the gun on 3rd down. Finding time. And the pressure gets there, and Winston goes down. The safety blitz turns out to be a great call defensively as they sack him for a loss of 9. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, You're really almost discrediting their work.
Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
And some room to roam now. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground. They come up in an offset eye. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Bortles to throw on 2nd down. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do. And it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put up in the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
A bullet throw, but incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
And this one is right down Broadway. And that will push the lead up to double digits now at 10. So that's a big one there. It's his 3rd field goal of the game, and a 2-score lead's got to feel pretty good right about now.
And while they're not free and clear yet, you're right. Now this defense can go out knowing that it's going to take more than one big play to catch them.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
Winston now. It's caught by Mike Evans. They'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down.
Are we really in the second half here? And this is the first time we've seen Jameis Winston connect with Mike Evans?
Yeah, you know that they missed that in the first half. Up until this point, they've really missed it, haven't they?
I think that's a big reason why they're down on the scoreboard right now.
And he'll give it here to his running back. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. Yeah, I think the blitz there really disrupted the draw.
Yeah, and it's usually when you catch them in a blitz, the draw works pretty well. If you're the offensive coordinator right now, that's visor throwing time, isn't it? Because that's supposed to work in a big way.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And a fair catch called for and made at the 12-yard line. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And possession will switch here as this offense will come on deep in their own territory. Here comes the defensive unit for the Buccaneers as they get set here. And even though that last drive yielded points, it was a long field goal, so they probably weren't too upset about it. Although here, obviously, they'd like to give up 0.
Of course, that's the goal each and every time now. But when they make that type of a field goal that long, you almost give them a little nod of respect to the kicker, like, congratulations. But you do feel pretty good about not giving up anything big.
Yeah, and we'll see if they can not give up anything big on this drive. Time running out here on the play clock. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third. And in this situation with a lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
Oh, so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
Throwing on first down is Bortles. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he takes this one just shy of midfield all the way to the 49. So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. They come up in a two tight end look here.
Here we go. 1, 9, 1.
They go play action here on first down. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he's going to be out of bounds down near the 35-yard line.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
Here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
And they give this time to the tailback. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. So it's our visitors with the football as we get you reset. They've got a third down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. Now Bortles. He's got time. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. So on fourth down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. And Tucker's kick right there, it's good. And that will stretch the lead up to 13. So they settle for just the 3 there, but clearly anything helps when you're trying to salt one away here in the fourth.
Without a doubt, I think a touchdown would have been the final nail. But 3 does give them some breathing room and lets them build up a little cushion.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punt no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
His big tight end, Tyler Eifert, the intended receiver. And now it's second down.
And he still doesn't have a catch. We're into the second half. I think it's a little bit of a surprise to me, but that was one he should have caught.
Absolutely. That was his best opportunity right there. He dropped it. On second down, Winston again. Caught Eifert over the middle. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot.
Let's go now.
3rd and short yardage, Winston. And that is incomplete.
I have to say that was a surprise call on 3rd and inches. I thought they'd try and run the football there, but you got to believe they thought they'd surprise the defense and pick up something downfield, but that one goes incomplete.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out.
Ready. Move it.
And on the ground they go with the running back. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the ball will go over on downs on the short side of the field. So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town on that
They're
one.
down to none?
Yes, exactly right.
They come up in an offset eye. Now a handoff here to his running back. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. It'll be their third and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. Bortles going to throw here. And that is incomplete.
Pass interference. Defense.
So a pass interference here, and this is obviously a call we see all the time, but for the defender, it's becoming almost impossible to play defense in some of these situations.
You're trying to play through the receiver to the football. If there's any contact at all before he gets there, those officials will throw the flag and call interference.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Now Bortles. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in the second half. Instead, it's third down. He's lucky to be getting that one back.
After what they've done with him all day long, with all the targets trying to go after him, he's obviously gotten smart, and his pride has kicked in. Made a terrific play.
Bortles. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down. Now Justin Tucker's out to try the field goal.
It looked like they had an opportunity for a big play across the middle, but he didn't have the concentration or focus necessary and dropped it before he could haul it in.
So yet another field goal to end a drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often, but you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through.
Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. And on that last drive, went for it on fourth, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on fourth down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened there.
That factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
Let's see what the defense dials up here. 3rd and 4. Winston from the gun on 3rd down. And he can't come up with a pick. Nearly his 2nd of the game. Instead, 4th down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Desperation time. Winston on 4th down. He's got a man complete. And he takes this one all the way across midfield into enemy territory down to the 40-yard line. They're going to hurry back to the line now. So there's the spike as it comes with 23 seconds to go. Play fake. Winston. He's got time in the pocket. And this is intercepted. And that should do it. A great read, and it's picked off.
obviously disappointing, but you had to go for broke here, down 2 scores. So that forced you to make some throws you definitely wouldn't want to make. And I think this interception is going to pretty much write an end to this one.
They will take the knee here, and they will finish this regular season with a victory. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted, no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility.